Hello, welcome to the room. Thank you for joining me today. I am your host. My name is Christina Carpenter, and I am here to talk about book writing because book writing is great. It's fun. It's great for the summertime. And if you've been wondering how to be more clear in your writing, if you want to be more clear in your genre or whatever you're working on, this is for you. Today, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about all the things talking about clarity and structure and genre. So, how do you get your book out of your head and pick that particular genre that you want to write about? So, I'm going to just discuss the different genres you can talk about. If you want to be an author but you don't know how to stand out, you have to pick your genre. So, this is kind of like a little mini masterclass I just decided to share today because I want you to get that clear. I want that clarity for you, for your genre and your tone. Today it is 90 degrees, about I think it's like 80 something ish today, so I'm a bit warm, but it's okay. Let's talk about it. Creative writing. Let's talk about creative writing. Are you writing creative writing or are you writing non-creative writing? Are you writing your memoir? Are you writing about, real life happenstance things in your life? That's great. Go for it. So there's non-creative, there's creative nonfiction. You can write about your life, you can write about life experiences, and you could work on a memoir, you could collect essays, you could talk about travel writing, you could talk about creative reporting about things in your life. I like this idea. I like creative nonfiction because it's taking from real life. Your real life is your muse, it's your content, and it helps you to get the source for everything you talk about. So you could just source your life, and it's simple. You just source your life, everyday circumstances, your life with your kids, your family, your job, whatever, and you just balance it out, writing in engaging prose, vivid prose, writing about what happens in your life. The source is your life. And then there's poetry. That's the next one. Let's talk about poetry. Poetry can be rhymes or it could be non-rhyming. I tend to do a little bit more non-rhyming, but you could rhyme, you could do sonnets, you could do free verse, you could do haiku, you could do spoken word. Everybody loves spoken word. It's very artistic, kind of sounds like rap. It's really great to have a little bit of rhyme to what you say, using meter, metaphors, imagery. All of that is like poetry. It could be a flowery kind of thing. Writers can explore writing through poetry, and it's usually about emotions, the internal state, and it could be short and punchy and impactful. That's poetry. So you could do that. I like that genre. I do that in the past. I've done that for two of my books, poetry. I really want to start doing some creative nonfiction, so that's my next genre. But I've done poetry, so that's something you could try. I want to do a poetry workshop one day, so that's something in the works. The next one you could do, another genre, is short story writing. This is just short story. It could be 3 pages, a story, one story, and it requires strong structure, compelling characters, and tight plots, all within a limited space. So you're workshopping this, you're getting the nuances, crafting your narrative, developing your characters, your character arcs, and creating strong hooks that draw readers in quickly. Then there's another category genre that you could write, which is fiction. These are your novels, books you find at the library, novels. Works You could work with a novel writing in a subcategory such as sci-fi, fantasy, romance, mystery, literary fiction, pop fiction, modern fiction. All of these could be fiction. We love fiction. Fiction is fun. It's a great way to escape the world and just go into a book and enjoy life in the book. So topics can include world building. Some people love to build entire worlds, societies, rules and regulations of a new world, plot development, character depth, pacing, all of that is included in that novel, and point of view. You could have multiple character points of view per chapter, or you could do just one character, first point of view, something like that. This is great for someone who loves imagination. but you really have to work on that structure and the plotting and getting over writer's block and revisions. Next category genre. Some people love this. I've had someone ask me about screenwriting. Screenwriting is something you do writing for television or plays. You could learn a specific format, a structure of writing for film or TV. And this is great when you just like dialogue and pacing and writing in visual terms, developing a strong plot, and adhering to a three-act structure. The next category genre is flash fiction. These tell stories in really few words and it focuses on writing the story in under 1,000 words. Can you do that? It's kind of like a short story, but it's just flash fiction. It can be really brief and precise to the word count. This is great to master storytelling. You could do this flash fiction as a step towards short stories or a step towards script writing or a step towards novel writing. The next genre there is persuasive writing. Persuasive writing is often associated with copywriting. Copywriting is writing to get people to buy things. You want to persuade people to take action, persuade people to do what you want them to take the next step on. Maybe buy a product, maybe sign up for a workshop. You want to compel them to maybe take care of their health or do good in the world and support a cause. So persuasive writing is all about marketing, advertising, copywriting. It's it's persuasive with a purpose. It's a focus on crafting a compelling argument and writing with authority. It's using emotional appeal effectively and developing a clear call to action. The next style of writing, this is another style, is writing for children. A lot of people love writing for children. Do you know why? Because it's fun to write for children because we want to give back, we want to contribute, and children are innocent. They're creative, they're imaginative, and you can have a ball with just writing for children. I used to write articles for children in terms of history. I like writing historical facts into fictional. Well, I like to teach and through story writing, and I would write little articles and make it geared towards children. I like educating children through writing. So that's one way to write for children. Using age appropriate language, themes, perspectives. Workshops can range from picture books. You could your writing could be a picture book, could be a middle grade, it could be YA novel, it could be covering elements like voice, character development, tackling important themes. So when you're writing for young adults or children, the sky's the limit. You could do anything from something like Anne of Green Gables to something like Harry Potter. You know, the sky's the limit. It's just like fiction or novels, but it's just geared towards age appropriate topics and themes for children, giving them a little bit of education, entertaining them, making them happy, keeping them engaged. That's what it's all about. The next type of writing, your style could be just blogging, having an online space where you dedicate to writing on a certain topic. You could be a content writer. With a rise of digital media, this is really fun to focus on just writing for a website or for social media, writing captions, and on other online platforms. Right now, the popular one is Substack. That's one where everyone is writing. And you write, of course, with SEO in mind, knowing the SEO basics and having really catchy headlines, engaging intros, and knowing how to optimize content for readability and engagement, getting people to really want to engage with your writing. Another writing style that you could have is journal writing and personal reflection. This is my favorite category because I do it all the time. Journaling is one of my favorite things to do for emptying my mind, regulating my emotions, separating myself from happenstance circumstances, and getting a deeper perspective and separation from what's going on in my life by putting it on the page. This is a great technique for self-reflection, cultivating daily writing habits, and using journaling as a tool to spur more creativity and emotional processing. It's my favorite for emotional processing. The next writing, which is similar to what I was talking about, content writing, is writing for social media. This is micro writing for social platforms. You could write for social platforms like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and focusing on short snippets that are impactful and engaging for that audience. The next category, style of writing that you could do, is so many ways to write, is dialogue writing. Dialogue writing is like writing for a script, a screenplay, or writing for a TV show. You know, you're writing with dialogue in mind, making conversations sound natural, building tension through speech, creating distinctive voices with the characters, and using dialogue to reveal the personality and advance the plot. I love this. I want to do a session about dialogue because I think it's kind of cool, when dialogue is really sharp and really cool and really good. All right, next thing is historical fiction. I helped a writer once to write a historical romance. So it was really cool. She likes history and she wanted to combine history with romance. And writers who are interested in the past life, they have a nostalgia for the past life, or they just like writing about history. This is a great way to blend your imagination with history and storytelling. Writers can learn to research techniques, and historical accuracy is very important because some people just really want some accuracy when it comes to history, and writing compelling characters that really fit the historical context that you're talking about it in. And then there is fantasy writing. Fantasy writing in sci-fi, world building. This is all fiction, novel writing. I love this. This is all about world building. It's a crucial skill for writers who like speculative fiction, and it's a fun thing to create and make details in immersive worlds. You can create maps, you can create cultures, languages, you could just world build a whole thing like that, like Harry Potter or something like that. Like this is like the fanciful fiction. It could be like Peter Pan, or like How to Train Your Dragon, or those things like that. Like this is like real fantasy type things, which is fun. If you really like it, go for it. It's a lot of people like to do this kind of writing. The next writing is autobiography and biography writing. These kinds of writings is about a person's life, their story, or someone else's story, and you're learning to structure it in a compelling way with narrative themes and balancing fact with storytelling that makes it engaging. Sometimes you can embellish a little, or just, put it in a way that makes people want to continue reading. Another writing style is writing playwrights. Playwrights is focused on dramatic dialogue, building tension on the stage, and developing characters through actions and stage directions. This is more for plays, stage playwriting. And this is fun for people who like that kind of thing. I know Tyler Perry started out doing plays. He did a lot of plays, and now he's doing TV writing and movie writing. So he's advanced from one thing to the next, and you can too. So you can start with playwriting, writing action, stage directions, and then moving on to other writing. Then there are other categories such as humor writing. Now, this kind of writing is all about being funny. It's about comedy. So think like funny sitcom TV shows, or just stand-up comedy and comedic essays that are funny, that are satire, that are parodies. These are fun when they explore world topics and they have an opinion about it. You could think of Trevor Noah. He's a comedian, or any other comedian talking about the world and everything like that. You could do wordplay, puns, use irony, satire, and it's supposed to be impactful for the person that's listening. So that's all about humor. And then there's other kinds of writing. The last kind of writing is writing prompts and exercises. It's not really a style in itself, but it's really like using prompts, and then you just create from the prompt. So some people have books that are just full of prompts to get you just writing new ideas all the time, and just running with the idea and chasing the rabbit hole, going down the rabbit hole of an idea and being spontaneous. It's kind of like improv acting, but it's more like improv on the page. So you get a prompt and you can go anywhere with the prompt and write about anything in any way you want. And you can even pick any genre from a prompt and just write. And that's an exercise, it's a practice that you do daily. So these are different ways that you can write, explore different styles, and figure out which one feels more comfortable for you, which one makes you light up, which one is easiest, the easiest to do. It doesn't take a lot of effort. It takes time to figure it out. I've started with journaling and poetry, and then I've done some novel writing, short stories, children articles. I've done a little bit of everything, And I like it. I've done even a little screenplay. I like that. I like doing things like that. So it just takes a step of self analysis. What do you like? And then figuring out what you want to write. And it's fun. And then when you figure out what your style is, you can share it with more people. So, what's your preferred method of storytelling? Are you into personal experiences, real life events? Are you into imagining new worlds or speculative futures? Are you into a blend of real and imagined events? Are you into dialogue driven writing with minimal description? Are you into dramatic emotional journeys with characters with inner struggles? Like that will tell you a lot about what you want to write. Once you figure that part out, that chunk, like figuring out, is it personal experiences? Is it imagination? Is it a blend of real and imagined? Is it driven by dialogue? These will tell you a lot. Is it emotional journeys? Which feel makes you feel fulfilled and meaningful? So another question I would ask is, how do you feel about character development in your writing? Do you enjoy writing about real people and creating deeply realistic characters based on real life? And do you enjoy crafting complex characters in a fantastical, futuristic setting? Or do you like creating a focus with a character arc and relationships in realistic or historical contexts? Do you prefer fast paced or snappy characters who reveal themselves through their action and dialogue? Or do you prefer characters that go on transformation, emotional experiences? I personally love transformational personal experiences. And then let's talk about another question. Which of these appeal to you the most? Do you like reflecting on life's big questions through a personal story or an essay? Do you like world building and exploring culture and creating unique rules and systems? Or do you like combining emotional depth with factual or historical accuracy? Or do you like writing scenes that are captivating with humor and with wittiness and witty exchanges? Or do you like writing scenes that are meant to have a direct impact on the audience's emotions and thoughts? So those are the chunk you could think about. Like, is it writing captivating humor? Is it emotional depth? Is it world building? Is it reflecting on the big life questions? Or is it having a direct impact on the audience's emotions? Next question. Let's think about these. So, how do you feel about structure in your writing? Now, structure is whether you like to be flexible and organic and you prefer to let the story unfold, or do you like to be strict in planning every element, or do you enjoy like non traditional fragmented structures, or do you like a clear beginning, a clear end, a clear middle and end? Or do you thrive on a fast paced, episodic structure where each scene pushes the story forward? Or do you like crafting tight, controlled structures that highlight emotional, dramatic shifts? Like I like highlighting emotional, dramatic shifts. That reminds me like of a good movie, you know? All right, next question. What kind of tone do you gravitate toward in your writing? Is it introspective, mysterious, informative, lighthearted, or powerful, poignant, and emotionally stirring? That's the tone. What kind of tone do you like to play with? Like, is it really reflective, introspective, possibly vulnerable? Or is it mysterious, adventurous, and imaginative? Or is it informative and insightful with a balanced sense of reality? Or is it lighthearted, witty, and humorous? Next question. How do you approach research in your writing? That's a big question. How do you approach research in your writing? Think about research. Do you like research? Do you like to research real life experiences and weave them into your story? Or do you like to deep dive into imaginative worlds, creating your own rules, creating your own systems? Do you like that kind of thing? Or do you like balancing research with creativity and making sure that there's a ground of stories that are in history and factual? Or do you prefer to work intuitively and don't rely on any heavy research at all? Or do you like to get in the setting and emotional landscape right in the beginning and leave plenty of space for creativity? So that's all about research and the way it all comes together. So now let's talk about what you want to write to achieve. What are your achievement goals? What do you want your writing to achieve? Do you want to inspire self reflection? Do you want to transport readers? Or do you want to inform, educate, and entertain? Or do you want to make people laugh and think at the same time? Or do you want to evoke a strong emotional response, such as joy, sadness, or inspiration? That sounds like inspiring self reflection, but it's different. It could be joy or sadness. So it's about what do you want to get, what the people are going to get from reading your work. Is it inspiration to self reflect? Is it going to be transporting them? Is it going to be informing and educating them? Is it going to make them laugh or think at the same time? So that's what you are trying to achieve with your writing. You got to think about it. And then what type of audience do you feel most connected to as a writer? So do you feel like you like people looking for inspiration and personal growth, or do you like readers who love fantasy and adventure? Or do you like readers who are interested in deep, thoughtful stories? Or do you like people who enjoy fast paced, humorous, lighthearted narratives? Or do you enjoy emotionally rich, intense storytelling that digs into the human experience? Like that's the one. I like usually personally, I like a deep, rich, emotional, intense storytelling. And I also like fast paced, humorous, and lighthearted. I like both ends of the spectrum. All right, another question for you. When you think about your ideal writing environment, what comes to mind? What do you picture? Do you picture a quiet, reflective space where you can immerse yourself in your thoughts and memories? Or do you think about a place to brainstorm and explore new worlds, either physically and virtually? Or do you like a cozy spot with research materials allowing for you to write and think? Or do you like a lively, dynamic space with where you can focus in short bursts of creativity? Or do you like a creative atmosphere where emotions flow freely and ideas are explored deeply? That's all about your space. What does it feel like in your space and when you write? And last question is, what challenges in writing do you feel most drawn to tackle? Are you drawn to tackling real life stories that resonate deeply with readers? Or are you drawn to building elaborate worlds? Or are you drawn to weaving history and facts into emotional, engaging narratives? Or are you into mastering fast paced dialogue and comedic timing? Or are you really into crafting emotionally powerful stories with high stakes and dynamic character arcs? I personally love emotional, powerful stories with high stakes and dynamic character arcs. That kind of reminds me of Lord of the Rings, or Star Wars, things like that, or like Hunger Games, things like that. It's really powerful, emotional kind of dynamic. So, anyway, those are the areas that you could think about when you're writing your style, what kind of things you want to write. And if you're interested in writing, that's like a way to get started. And I think we could talk all day about different styles of writing. And you could even come up with ideas of where books that you've read before fit in these categories and styles. And you could think about what books have you been reading the most and what really inspires you, so that you can figure out what style you like. And then if you figure out what style you like, you'll know what style you want to write in. And it's best to own your style and play with your style and try new styles. So that's all for that. So I just want to bring that up, and hopefully that was super helpful for you for our, you know, talk on styles and all the things you could do with style. And that's all for today. Talk to you on another open time, another time open when with my office hours to talk to you about writing. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.